Welcome, seekers of the truth, to the Magical Services channel. So this is going to be a most supreme love horoscope for the collective for the time frame when the moon is in Leo. Because I'm thinking, like the moon does indeed is probably the most responsible astral body as far as our emotions go. So when the moon changes signs, it changes the tones of things, especially in our emotions, and that matters very, very much. And so I'm doing this reading for the whole time that the moon is going to be in Leo, and that is going to be from the 14th to the 16th. Well, it'll be from the 14th around 10 p.m. Universal Time to the 16th around in the 11th hour p.m. of this month of July of 2026. So, with all of that said, let's get into your horoscope then, collective. So, the ingress of the moon into the fiery sovereign realm of Leo initiates a profound and unavoidable shift in the collective romantic atmosphere, transforming the landscape of attachment from quiet, cautious negotiation into a bold, unapologetic demand for authentic recognition. As the lunar cycle waxes from a fragile sliver of light into a growing, determined crescent, emotional needs are no longer whispered in the shadows but are broadcasted with radiant clarity. The heart actively seeks a stage, and the collective psyche is driven by a deep primal urge to be celebrated, cherished, and placed at the center of a partner's universe. This is not a time for subtle hints or passive aggressive maneuvering. It is a period where love is experienced as a dramatic vital force, and pride becomes the ultimate guardian of the heart. Yet beneath this confident, outwardly radiant display lies a complex undercurrent of vulnerability, dictated by the Sun and retrograde Mercury dwelling in the sensitive, protective waters of Cancer. This creates a fascinating psychological friction within relationships where individuals desperately crave to be seen and adored, but simultaneously struggle to articulate their deeper vulnerabilities without immediately raising defensive walls. Conversations about feelings may become tangled as the retrograde Mercury in Cancer causes partners to misinterpret tone, revisit old emotional wounds, or internalize their thoughts rather than speaking them with clear, direct intent. The Leo moon perceives this hesitation as a lack of enthusiasm or devotion, triggering innate pride and a sudden, fiery withdrawal of affection. This dynamic is further complicated by the steady analytical presence of Venus in Virgo, which observes the Leo moon's theatrical romantic displays with a critical, detail oriented eye. Venus in Virgo expresses love through practical service, thoughtful gestures, and a desire to improve the relationship. But to the proud Leo moon, this can easily feel like cold analysis, nitpicking, or a refusal to simply enjoy the grand romance of the moment. A significant source of tension will arise when one partner offers a sweeping, passionate declaration of love only to be met with a practical correction or an unsolicited piece of advice from the other. This mismatch in romantic languages can lead to sharp moments of perceived rejection, causing the Leo moon to feel undervalued and prompting a defensive retreat into solitary self reliance. However, the saving grace of this entire transit lies in the expansive, generous conjunction of Jupiter traveling alongside the moon in Leo. This powerful alignment amplifies the capacity for forgiveness, warmth, and magnanimous joy, offering a potent antidote to the petty grievances that Venus in Virgo might otherwise fixate upon. When couples consciously choose to lean into this Jupiterian frequency, reconciliation is not only highly probable but deeply magnified. Minor disputes are swiftly eclipsed by a renewed sense of adventure and mutual admiration, turning potential conflicts into opportunities for a more passionate, resilient commitment. The flirtatious, scattered energy of Mars in Gemini adds another layer of complexity to the romantic landscape. driving a strong desire for intellectual stimulation and witty banter as a primary form of foreplay. Partners will find themselves drawn to those who can keep up with rapid-fire conversations and playful teasing, but this same energy can manifest as a fear of deep, heavy emotional confrontation, leading some to deflect serious relationship discussions with humor or sudden changes of subject. Meanwhile, the foundational structures of partnership are being quietly but firmly tested by Saturn and Neptune in Aries. This pairing demands that new relational boundaries be established with ruthless, uncompromising honesty, actively stripping away any lingering illusions about what a connection can realistically sustain. Neptune's retrograde motion dissolves the fairy tale projections we place upon our partners, while Saturn insists that any new romantic initiative be built on tangible, enduring effort rather than impulsive, fleeting passion. This is a reality check for the heart, ensuring that the dramatic flair of the Leo moon is grounded in actual, demonstrable loyalty. Simultaneously, Pluto's retrograde motion in Aquarius continues to exert a deep transformative pressure on the undercurrents of unconventional relationships, friendships turning into romances, or partnerships that defy traditional norms. This transit forces a necessary re-evaluation of power dynamics, demanding that any commitment moving forward is rooted in genuine equality, mutual respect, and absolute freedom, rather than covert control or emotional manipulation. The shadow of Black Moon Lilith, retrograding through the late degrees of Capricorn and into Sagittarius, further agitates this process, bringing repressed desires regarding commitment and personal freedom to the surface. There is a collective rebellion brewing against traditional, restrictive relationship expectations, prompting individuals to question whether their current partnerships allow for authentic growth and expansive truth, or if they are merely fulfilling a societal script. As the moon journeys through the entirety of the Leo arc, approaching the final critical degrees of the sign, the initial volatile dramatic flare naturally matures into a steady, warm, and unwavering glow of self-assured love. For those currently navigating separation or a period of relational limbo, this lunar phase acts as a powerful catalyst for either definitive closure or a dramatic, pride-driven reconciliation. The ego will fiercely resist being the one to reach out first, yet the Cancer-ruled heart secretly aches for the warmth of familiar connection. If reconciliation occurs, it will be marked by grand gestures and a mutual unspoken agreement to leave past grievances in the dark, though the retrograde Mercury warns that the underlying issues must eventually be addressed with gentle, non-accusatory clarity to prevent a recurring cycle of hurt. For singles, the magnetic pull of the Leo moon makes this a highly visible period for attracting romantic interest, but the challenge lies in filtering out those who are merely captivated by the external charm while lacking the emotional depth to sustain a genuine bond. The Venus in Virgo influence advises singles to observe how a potential partner handles the mundane, everyday details of life, as this will reveal far more about their long-term viability than any grand moonlit declaration. The true romantic victory of this transit belongs to those who can balance the majestic, radiant demands of the Leo moon with the quiet, nurturing truth of the Cancerian core, ultimately forging connections that are both passionately inspiring and securely anchored in mutual everyday devotion. The outcome of this transit is a crystal clear delineation of who is genuinely willing to meet you with the warmth, consistency, and fierce loyalty you require, and who is merely distracted by the superficial spectacle of romance. Relationships that successfully navigate this solar flare of emotional truth will emerge significantly more vibrant, fiercely protective, and deeply aligned, having proven their capacity to hold space for both vulnerability and pride. Conversely, those connections built on a fragile ego, unspoken resentments, or a fundamental mismatch in emotional needs will naturally and inevitably dissolve, clearing the necessary space for a love that truly deserves the crown. So that is what I had for you today, collective. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, Feel free to like this video, or comment this video, or share this video, or hype this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, or hype our channel by letting your friends and acquaintances who might enjoy it. All those acts would be great and greatly appreciated. There's a magical service being offered in the description box. Feel free to check it out for sure. And beyond that, I thank you so much for being here. And you know, stay tuned to the channel, because I'll be putting up videos for the moon shifts. I'll be trying. That's a new thing I'd like to try on this channel. Putting up moon sign readings, almost. You know what I mean? Like when the moon changes signs, and when it changes signs, once it's in that sign, the whole time it's in that sign, what's the astrological weather going to be like? So stay tuned for upcoming signs. Thank you so much for being part of our circle, and being part of our network, and being part of our tribe, and supporting our channel, and being here. Until the next time, blessings.